Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another stadium game. I am playing Junkrat before you guys switch off, because I know many of you are here for the Moira gameplay. This is a trap build like no other. It's taken me ages to make this video because it's actually been quite difficult to get a good game with it. A lot of the time, I either just win 3-0 or 4-0, or it just loses. And also in the games which are kind of close, I wasn't able to really showcase the true potential of like the build. I feel like this one is close enough. The amount of enemies we trap in this game is insane. And the build might surprise some of you guys. Now, to start off, we've picked the power where when you fire a concussion mine, it lays a little trap. Round one, it doesn't matter, but really this... I say it doesn't matter, but I think this is the only option because of the build that we're going, like the order of powers. The other ones don't make sense unless you have this one. So this is what we're going to start with. So yeah, we're up against a Winston, a Genji, a Tracer, a Kiriko, and a Zen. They are trappable heroes. There are some compositions you cannot really run this against. Like if there's too many flyers on the team, it's going to reduce the number of players that can get stuck in your traps. In this case, it's not too bad. Over on our team, we've got Doomfist, Junkrat, Genji, Jetpack Cat, and a Mercy. So, we also picked Electrolytes because we just love that item and it's amazing. And also, with this build, I die a lot. A lot. Just, I don't even really know why. I think players just get annoyed with me. So, we get so much value out of Electrolytes. Also, I'm playing quite close because I'm trying to just generate as much money as possible. And yeah, we also picked Stratosphere. I think we actually went for weapon power at the start. Like we got Compensator rather than the ability power because it depends on if you think you're going to put more focus on your mines or on just your regular attacks. Yeah, the AP doesn't really benefit the traps. The mini traps too much at this point, so you don't take it because you're on a trap build. Also, I think another reason why we'll die a lot in this game is, I mean, come on, it's Winston, Genji, Tracer. Like, they're going to be all over a Junkrat. And it's very difficult to hit some of them. So enemy team does have the objective right now, 33% capped. We're just trying to spam and get money. I do think that Junkrat needs a cash boost, by the way. It's really tricky to get a lot of money with him. Maybe it's a good thing that he's not that rich, but it does make the trap build a little bit difficult, but we can still accomplish something with it. As we are all over the point, but we're unable to actually cap it yet until we've cleared off these pesky flankers. Genji's still coming back in, but we finally get it. Enemy team capped 70% of the point. We've got our tire. I'm very bad with Junkrat tires, but we're not going to miss that one, are we? Absolutely not. Nice shot. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Also, this Genji gets so mad with us this game. It's delicious. Absolutely delicious. If you're playing Junkrat and the enemy team get mad with you, I mean, it's just feeding you. Like, you're better off not reacting because... Ooh, this Genji doesn't like us. So yeah, these mini traps, they only slow players. They don't really make them immobile or anything like that. They do a tiny bit of damage. It's not much. For now, that is 25 damage, I think, if a player gets trapped. So, you know, you can hit 4 traps or you can hit 1 direct hit with Junkrat's weapon and you're probably going to do about the same damage. Enemy team going to retake the point. Jetpack Cat taking us in there. We're actually in the air for a long time. I didn't even realize you could be in the air for this long. We don't normally. It's also kind of crazy. I jump off though because, yeah, it's not that beneficial being up there as a Junkrat. I don't think anyway. Got to get through to this objective. Use a mine to try and get us through there. The main trap hits the Winston, who does get taken down. Genji targeting our Mercy. It's going to be a difficult one to win here. Like Mercy, Jetpack Cat, and a Genji. I think our Doomfist is coming back in now. So far, they're not having the best game. But I think it's actually quite a tricky team to like actually punch any players. They're going to have Discord on them a lot of the time. So I'm not going to get into flaming them. just yet. Right, Pulse Bomb does take down our Doom. We're tankless. And the Winston is all over the point. Our players are falling with Discorded, which means we're just going to get deleted as soon as any other player comes in and attacks us. We're putting out decent damage for this round. I think the map's very helpful. Not sure the Cat and the Doomfist are going to be able to do too much here to stall this one out. Genji is going to be arriving soon, but now there's only the Cat on point. Does not survive. We trigger a few more players in the trap. Try and use the ultimate just to get... it was after. Get a kill, just try and get some cash. Enemy team, 8k ahead of us. That's, you know, that could be a problem because there's potential for us to get mercy ruled. This is one of the issues with Stadium, the different cash generation rate and then mercy rules. They're kind of not compatible because one team could just pick heroes that generate a lot of cash. The other team, if they pick ones which don't, then 3-0 is almost certainly going to be a mercy rule, even if the game's kind of balanced. So we take the item that makes our traps actually deal some damage based on ability power. Forgotten the name of it. Considering ability lifesteal here, every time I bought it though on this trap build, and then I look at our healing afterwards, we've done like 80 healing. So I don't think it's worth getting at this stage. So might as well go with something like Compensator. We keep electrolytes because that's going to get us to the point a little bit quicker. And also, did you see the power that we took? Slapnel. Why have we taken that power? Because every time that we press V, in other words, our little punch button, we're going to lay a trap. It detonates a concussion mine when we punch someone or even just punch the air. That's going to lay one of these traps. So that's a lot of these ability damaging traps that are out now. And you might be surprised by us not just taking the double trap power. But we sort of don't need it. Yeah, it makes players immobile, but we can put down so many of these traps. You can have up to 5 active at one time, and we will just permanently have 5 active. So main trap up here. We also place another secondary trap. If Genji jumps over onto us, that might hurt him a bit. Have to see. The one downside that we've got right now is our traps don't have the extra health. There we go. Then Genji got double trapped. Taken down. So yeah, he says, nice shot again. I know. I mean, you need to dodge better. So yeah, while the traps don't have too much health, someone like a Winston jumping over onto it or a Genji using Swift Strike to go and target a player may end up destroying the traps. But so far, I mean, we're going to be building up some cash, cover ourselves with these traps and want to ideally play around them. Winston is kind of close to us though. More traps, okay. I mean, just look at the triggered messages already. And it is going to be dealing, you know, a bit of damage with the bonus effect of slowing players, which obviously helps our team out a bit. Now, the damage isn't crazy high for a single trap. Again, if you were just on a weapon power build, you could probably... my concussion mine actually blew up my traps there because Genji deflected it. But yeah, weapon power build, you probably just need to hit one direct hit and you're doing more than the traps, even with all of this that we've stacked on it so far. Remember, we still have our weapon that can still damage players. It looks like even though the enemy team captured the midpoint, we are going to be taking our backward point and now going back into mid point B. Get as many of these out as possible. The slapnel traps, just in case anybody tries to push us. Trace is now around that corner. He's forced to retreat. Trap over onto the stairs. Defensive trap here as well. Can we get the Genji? No. The actual Dragon Blade. He's got the ranged strike from it. Just didn't anticipate that. So now we're just trying to spam as much as we can, see if we can break this Winston bubble. Mercy going for a res there, does get taken down. We're in a bit of trouble here. Focused a lot on the trap positions and not so much on regular junk aiming. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be working out too well so far. This build does take a while to come online, but it gets insanely strong. an actual Junkrat player might be able to generate the cash with just, you know, regular Junkrat play for this trap build to really come online later on. But not me. I have to basically be poor through the whole game and just hopefully get some kills and assists through the traps. Concussion mine, big hit. Zen bounced backwards. More mines and traps laid over by the stairs. Genji is on us. Probably has a deflect though, so we've got to be a bit careful of that. Slapnel trap just before we get eliminated. Tracer getting the kill over onto myself and the Mercy. Genji's also down. We've got a Doomfist. I think the cat's going to be coming in soon as well with Mercy, who seems to permanently be pocketing them. I don't actually think that's their strategy, but it just, every time I see it, that's what I see. 22k cash earned. Our cat earned a lot that round, nearly 15k. That's a good sign. The enemy Kiriko total earnings also almost equal. Now here's the problem. The trap build isn't very good on these really open maps. That last map is really where we should have been like thriving, but we didn't have the trap health, so now we're just going to get a bit more ability power, take nano cola and charge plating, I believe. Not really many reasons to have anything other than that. We're just focused on cash generation. Yeah, sure, we may get eliminated, but as long as we yeah, get some damage out there, then it should be really good. I think the later stages of this build will also surprise you, by the way. I wouldn't say that this build is in its final form either. I think there's certainly some things which you could consider. Zip Grease being an option in the later rounds, or potentially even in the first rounds, if you want to focus more on that. It has recently been buffed. It's still not the menace that it was to ranked before, but you can do a lot with it. Especially, I mean, I'll be making a Zip Grease video quite soon, because here's the spoiler. Slapnel again detonates a concussion mine. That's going to give you a Zip Grease shot. There's potential to be really spamming those aerial shots. So we will be doing a build on that. I've played with it a few times like that. It's been good. I did prefer the other way, like having the 2 successive shots, but I understand why they made changes to it. Right, trap deployment. Get as many of these out there as we can. I mean, the question that you've got to ask here is, do you want to play the traps defensively or offensively? And in this case, defensively against dive, you know, does make some sense, but I still want to actually put pressure over onto their back line. Maybe catch heroes like Zen off guard. Winston putting some pressure over onto us now. I was hoping we could get a trap inside the bubble there, but that's not the case. We've got 800 damage or so, like right at the start, and I think most of that's going to be trap damage. So our team being pushed back by this awkward combo of a Genji and a Tracer. Bubble blocks my concussion mine. Yeah, I think the traps here are going to have to be very defensive. Oh, Tracer's got some damage on us. Genji as well. See what we can do here, Tracer. We can hear them over to our left, but really want to focus on like freeing up this payload as much as we can. Traps around the objective would be quite nice here. And yeah, we just kind of have to hope that we've got the volume of them out there. The players are going to go and hit them and get stuck on them. Doomfist eats a big pulse bomb. Takes quite a lot of damage, and honestly the rest of our team pretty much all dead at this point. There's the angry Genji, making sure to assist with the takedown. And so far, you might be wondering why I'm excited about this video. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a trap build video, so it's not going to be the most riveting gameplay. But you will see the effect of this build, and if you like annoying players in Overwatch, which many of you do, there is something quite fun about that, then yeah, this build is one you definitely want to have in your arsenal. Because people certainly will hate you for this. Zen kills us with magic, apparently. And that's okay. We're ready. I mean, next time we press tab, you'll see how many enemies we've trapped. There's another one. Just the permanent presence of 5 traps is is big, and it gets worse. Like, worse is in better for us, worse for the enemy team. Okay, defensive trap up top. Was going to go for the Winston, but as soon as the ult was there, we'll go for the Genji. Do manage to take them down. I'm sure they'll have a comment for that one. There we go, nice shot. I mean, just be better, mate. Just like the video. Helps me out, guys. Appreciate it. Enemy team in the lead. We don't want to go 3 down here. The cash is pretty even right now, so at least Mercy Rule seems to be off the table. And I mean, I don't think it's spoiling the video if I say to you, we don't get Mercy Ruled here, because why would I upload the video? Why would I upload a game saying, hey, look how good this trap build is? We just get immediately Mercy Ruled 3-0. But whether the enemy team takes the round or not, well, we'll have to see. So we're putting as many traps in this choke point as possible. Both of the objectives are neck and neck. So if we can just control this archway, that'd be really nice. Concussion Mine still does a decent amount of damage. And, well, actually, if the enemy team's not going to come and contest it, then we'll just take the win. Not very high cash generated. We have 38 enemies trapped already after 3 rounds. Not many kills, but the eliminations are certainly helping. Insert the default, we scale better. Yep, true, we scale better. Double trouble. Get an extra trap. Now you'd think that in a trap build, you would want that incredibly strong power to just put out more of those traps, right? Just you get an additional trap. However, hop boom. It might be a bit overkill, but in this situation, I think it's actually quite nice that I stay airborne for a long time. Now think about how quickly we get 5 traps out. 6 total, because we have our regular trap as well. It would be 7 if we pick the other power. What this means is if we use Concussion Mine and throw ourselves up in the air, we put 1 trap down. Then when we land again, we put another trap down. If we then use Slapnull, we put a trap down, and then when we bounce from the Slapnull, we'll put another trap down. And then we've got another Concussion Mine. And then just the amount of traps that we can put down just while bouncing around is pure insanity. Now, there is a variation of this build where you can go and start looking at the total mayhem stuff. That certainly is an option. I think this is where the build gets a little bit flexible, like going into the end rounds, because you don't need this hot boom. Like, but just look how many, we just deployed 4 traps then in like 1 second. Now, fair enough, a lot of the traps are very defensive, but that's a good reason for us to be taking it here. So we're just kind of spamming our regular attacks. It doesn't do too much damage at this stage in the game. I mean, we're going to be holding that button anyway. Oh, he got the deflect on the Concussion Mine. That Concussion Mine wasn't aimed to try and actually put damage out over onto the Genji. That was to jump me out of there. It's a bit frustrating, the deflect. Now, like the other map, this is not a particularly good map for us. Luckily, we did win the last round, which means it's not the end of the world if we lose this map. But there's just too much space for enemies to be walking into the trap. What I think the way to play this is actually to focus all of the traps around the bot and just try and do that. The other way to do it is that if they're a dive team like they are, then it's all about kiting back. So like here, we've put a trap forward and there's another trap behind. And if we keep moving back, there's another trap there and another one further behind. If the enemy chase us, there's a good chance that they're going to walk into these traps. Of course, they have to actually go pretty deep in order to get hit by them. Genji, oh, the Winston bubble, and Suzu saves them. Trace a pulse bomb, but we're going to jump up in the air. And this is one of the problems with Hot Boom, in that unless we can be aggressive on the enemy team, all of our traps are basically sat at the back there. We need them to either be aggressive on us, or we need to do something like this. We get a bit frustrated the fact that the enemy team's moving the robot almost uncontested. So we do jump in to try and actually put our traps around there and survive. With the build, we've had to build a lot of ability power it's a bit of a struggle to get survival into this build. There is a nice item which, when you detonate a concussion mine, it's going to give you overhealth. But we sort of need to have the ability power so that our traps actually hurt. So I'm reluctant to take it. At least this early, maybe a bit later on when we've got a bit more base health. 0-3 at the moment. Cash generation's poor. I mean, it's not looking that effective. I might also add though that this trap build, if you ever play it against a Junker Queen with it, you've just ruined their evening. Most of the 3-0 games or 4-0 games that I had was when I was against the Junker Queen. Because she cannot do anything. Permanently slowed. Tracer there, stuck in the main trap. Permanently slowed, constant traps, just damage. You can get Cyber Venom on the traps as well. Can get Sundering Vial. We're going to try and use our tire here. Could have probably detonated that a bit better. Or just controlled it better. We did take the direct route because I'm a bit scared that one of these flankers is just going to see us behind that little box. And here we go, jumping around over onto the robot. Anybody goes near to that robot, and they're probably going to be walking through some sort of trap. Genji with the blade. Is he going to be able to save us? Oh, leaving the bot. Mercy with a res, though. That does allow us to at least keep pushing and putting traps down near the bot. We're going to, first of all, put some over near to their choke point. Slapner will be putting the defensive ones. Like 2 every time we jump. And yeah, I mean, we just fire them out constantly and hope that the quick repositions will permanently have them. Monkey stuck in a mini trap. I mean, this is good. This is looking really good for us. Transcendence, though, along with the the Kitsune Rush might be a bit of a problem. We do need to be able to jump up here. Monkey trapped, but Kiriko's got the healing onto them. I mean, we're starting to do some pretty decent damage, like 5k just on a trap build. But yeah, unfortunately, enemy team going to be going 3-1 up, and we have got a lot of work to do. But as our team mentioned, we scale. We scale better. 8,700 cash, we're still broke. We've got 40k cash or something total. So, what are we building now? And this is a significantly better map for a trap build. If we sell Power Playbook, that's going to give us 10k. I think we had Vitality Amplifier as well, or was it? Yeah, I think we'd adjusted some stuff. I don't think that was Nano Cola, but may have been. Looking at the Genji build, just to see, our team seemed to be complaining about the Genji quite a bit. So just wanted to know if there's anything, if they're going over health, if we should get Sundering Vial. Nano Cola doesn't really work. It leaves us with 9,500, which the items there are not anything I'm interested in. Straight up Champions Kit. It is a consideration. Selling electrolytes, we would get a bit more ability power. In fact, that puts the number pretty high. What's that, 80%? I want to see, though, is there a better way that we can do this? You know, maybe sacrifice some of the ability power. Could get Cyber Venom. That's going to give us 25 AP, but we do lose out on Power Playbook. 25 AP with some debuffs or 45% AP. Let's just go with a 45 and see what happens here. So I want my team to go and get onto the point so I can just jump around and put unlimited traps everywhere. And then it's kind of, I mean, they have to push into the point at some point. Now it is a little bit scary. The Zenyatta can sit outside of the point and will eventually take down players. Kiriko as well can kind of sit outside on the point. But if we can beat the enemy team to the point and stay there and just get a little bit established with the Doomfist, with the Junkrat, Jetpack Cat being able to play in the sky up inside the point, very difficult to kill from the choke, same with the Mercy. I think the strategy is just unbeatable, really. So we are first into the point. This has worked out nicely. Let's start to get the point covered with these traps first of all. There's at least 2 on the door. Hidden one for the main trap. We don't really want that one being shot right away there. Each time we jump back, we're just going to be landing more traps. There's enough of them still on the point, but they're not in the best position anymore. Genji goes in for a dash on us, but Mercy's healing us. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Still players just walking all over the traps. Winston's got a few bubbles, but it's not going to allow him to escape from the traps. Genji with a deflect, slap null. He's very weak, out the window. Missed the shot. But Winston, we're not going to miss that with a concussion mine. Tracer's still over onto the point, gets hit by a trap, forced to recall early. Double trap placed again. Genji, find your path. Like, where are there no traps? That's what you've got to be asking yourself. Zen's got us discorded, put some pressure on us. We tried to jump up in the air again. And I mean, already, like, this has got to be frustrating for them to play in and around the point on. Our Doomfist looks like he's in a bit of trouble. Winston in over onto the point as well, but still they're chasing our players outside. No electrolytes, so we are very slow getting back to the point, but we took that gamble knowing that it's not a particularly long range map, so getting back doesn't take too long. Oh, go on. Yes, he got stuck in the main trap. Nice shot, he says. I'm just predicting it. But, come on, where's the comment? Darn. Trapped again. Yeah. Unlucky. I mean, just deal with it, mate. Like, we're just better. Okay, Winston taken down. Zen trying to do what he can outside of the point. I mean, you'll be brave to push through there. Okay, let's get him. Let's get him. Ah, oh, stole the kill I wanted them. Tracer, nice recall. But yeah, I'm terrible with the traps. Not the traps, the tires. I'm excellent with the traps. What are you talking about, Arcs? Yeah, just even if like some of the traps get a little bit damaged, we'll just end up replacing them with additional traps very, very quickly, and they'll have the full health ones. And I mean, they have something stupid like 300, 400 health, the traps at this point, so they're not killing them. It's either you walk into them or you avoid them. Team look like we are very comfortably... Oh, maybe not. Zen's trying to clear the traps, I think. No, didn't with the Transcendence. Could have done, because I think you still trigger them. Oh. Another trap onto them. Next time we press tab, let's have a look at the number of enemies trapped. It's got to be high now. Wow, we do get the Zen with a couple of those traps over onto the point. Still triggering a trap every couple of seconds. Let's get over onto the point. Okay, double trap laid down there. The traps do stack. You can lay them all basically in the same place. And if an enemy walks on one, then they will get hit by all of them. I think maybe at some point in this game we do set up one of those traps and just basically 100-0 player. It might have been a different game though. I have played a lot with this build over the last week. That's why there's been slightly less videos, because I've really been trying to get this one working. Winston taken down. We're on 99%. Nobody's going to get to the point. 3-2. The comeback is real.
2-3. I can hardly believe my optics when I see stats like these. Coming up next,
how many enemies trapped? I didn't look, but the number is certainly getting up there. Right, it's power time. So, Double Trouble, I'm picking it. But in many of my other games, I don't actually take it. Because I could get the cooldown reduction when you hit a concussion mine. It's maybe not that good. We pick up Mark of the Kitsune, by the way, because I'm thinking, look, we've got quite a lot of AP. Let's make our actual weapon spam do something. It's a consideration. It's not locked in. L'America, I don't find is that good with the build. You'd think it's quite nice because you'd be, you know, constantly jumping around and applying it. But in my experience, it's not that great. One that is quite good was... actually, it's just that concussion mine power. That one, you get quite a lot of overhealth from it. And I feel like if you're going to get a defensive item, it's worth sacrificing the ability power and just taking that. Right, good map for our traps. Possibly the best map for our traps. Like, this mid-fight is just... Yeah, they are really going to struggle. Lazy one trick there. Nose as well. Give up the second point. So, I completely agree with the strategy. Because... yeah, they know that I am going to be putting traps everywhere. Where we asked them to go to the point in the last match, it's the same principle. Enemy team has to push in through this. It's difficult for them to do. I mean, just look at the number of traps now. Plus, we've got two of the main traps. Yeah, I agree with the strategy. However, it is a bit boring. And there is a chance that we can just win the next point. So I think it's worth pushing in, just being cautious about the spawn timing, because we would much rather be holding like the middle point than having to push into it when we're on this kind of composition. Then again, Doomfist and Genji can create space for us, and we will be able to get in and quickly apply traps. It still is a little bit better. So kind of expected, we do take the midpoint. Here is the decision. Basically, do we want to come in and contest this or not? Certainly going to give it a try. I'm going to at least push forward to the archways. We do actually get taken down by a swift strike from the Genji, but thanks to Mercy, we are back on the point. I need to get the traps deployed onto the point, otherwise it's kind of useless. So this is where the contest happens. If we're on the point, great. If we have to get forced back to the choke, I feel like we should give up on that. We do get taken down. Mercy's not going to have a res. I don't think the traps are going to last long enough out there and have a large enough impact. And the timing of the deaths worked perfectly, because it meant that we had a chance. We may have got them to use some ultimate abilities that they would have used otherwise in the push in here. Here we go. Can we set up a stacked trap? You can't put it directly on top of each other. They have to be slightly off. Otherwise, yeah, it doesn't work. Let's lay one trap up top. If somebody goes in that right side, we may hit them with that stacked trap. Although we are putting fresh ones down already, so maybe the gamble didn't pay off. I think I had to leave as soon as I put the traps down to try and encourage someone there. Also, they're reasonably obvious traps. Monkey put a lot of pressure on us, though. If the enemy team win this round, the game is done. We're still triggering traps, though. They're not over on the point. Enemy team's getting a lot of time on it. This is a big problem. We need players contesting this point now. Need to buy time for our spawns to get back in there. Our trap kills the Tracer. That's going to be very frustrating for them. More traps triggered. Genji getting two, though. Our Genji and also Jetpack Cat. We're going in to try and just get any time and touch the point. Traps are on the point. Slapnel traps placed down 1 and 2. Genji diving all onto us. Don't get anyone with the total mayhem, but the traps are triggering. We're going to need a contest from someone here. Our Genji's saying he's got Blade, so just need the stall. And this is not what our supports need to be doing. Stop dancing around versus the Winston. You have to get in and buy some time. Enemy team, if they win the round. Traps come in comes that promised Blade. Kiriko immediately taken down. Zen does use Transcendence, but not before the Genji goes down. More traps on the choke point first of all, and now over onto the point. Little cheeky mark of the Kitsune shot over onto the Winston. And now, surely they can't push in here. We've got traps everywhere. We've got a tire going out towards their spawn. Enemy team not going to be making it. And we bring the score 3-3 with a 12k cash lead going into the final. The deciding round. Also, we still earned under 10k. Junkrat needs a cash boost. We've trapped so many enemies and we get nothing for it. Just saying.
What tactics will the teams come up with this round?
Right, which of these are we going to get here? Cyber Venom could be quite nice. What's the map like? How good is this map for our traps or not? We've got 32,000 damage so far. See, Cyber Venom market. Do we just need the survivability? I'm not really interested in getting like Catalytic Crystal or that something Chompers, whatever it's Charge Chompers to build ult charge up, because I'm terrible with the ults. I didn't pick the Rip Tire Power, which is an option, by the way. You could pick that, especially when you're going to be landing. Refreshing Radiation. Cooldown reduction, helpful. Concussion Mine Health, not so helpful. Overhealth on detonation, very nice considering how many detonations we have. The problem is it's 6% of max life. So what does that actually mean? I mean, obviously I know what the numbers mean, but in reality, without doing the calculations, let's have a look. So that's how much overhealth on 2 land. I mean, it's not bad, but is it just a really expensive ironclad exhaust port? I think the difference is that with this one, you can use multiple abilities in quick succession, like in the case of our build anyway, and you're going to get the overhealth for each one, whereas with ironclad exhaust ports, I think it doesn't stack them anymore. So you'll just keep reapplying an instance. So we have 99 enemies trapped right now. My team were asking me to ping trapped players. No, I will get suspended for spam. Like, we can't possibly ping them. There is an item, by the way, which you can highlight enemies who are trapped get revealed. But the problem is that this is round 7. I'm not going to take one of the blue items just for that effect. I feel like everybody is always trapped. So just look at the enemy team and you should see the trap players. You're not going to be focusing on players who are trapped, especially if it's a mini trap as well. Like, sure, the major traps, that's one thing, right? Oh, Winston taking a bit of damage. We are getting some momentum. My strategy on this round, a lot of the time, is I want to be just stacking the robot. I know we didn't do that there, but I just want to be stacking the robot with traps. So that if they have to push it, they have to go through the traps. And then, yeah, if they're not, then we're just making distance. So we can play defensive because the objective itself is going to move forward. Obviously, we pushed kind of deep there and, yeah, just to see if we could lay some of those traps and force them back a bit more. Okay, a couple of traps here. You can use Slapnull in the air, by the way, and it's going to drop the trap below you. That is one of the changes that they made to Junkrat trap builds, which has really made this possible. Not having to land. Like, we could Slapnull here before we land. And also our concussion mines, we can actually throw them at players, not just try and let them land to hit the floor. So this is why I'm liking this trap build right now. However, enemy team taking the lead. We've still got some traps out there, though. You can see them on the map. Question is, are they still in good positions now the objective's moved? Winston over onto us. Little Slapnull jump there. It's very good for mobility as well. You can jump with it and you get quite a bit of distance. Not like that. I think we didn't jump, but just using it for a little bit of distance there. Let's get these traps set up in case they try and flank through here. Double stack a trap. Someone gets hit by that, it's going to be painful, but it's in a pretty obvious position. Still, I don't mind putting them in the obvious positions because we're going to replace those traps very quickly, so they don't have a very long like shelf life. So yeah, putting them in a hidden position, it's unlikely that they're going to hit anybody. So we have taken the lead. 30 seconds remaining, as the announcer just said. We do have our Riptide. The question is it safe to use it with all the flankers pushing forward? Winston eliminated. That's huge. Let's get more traps over onto the objective. Stop them pushing it. Triggered messages everywhere, including the Genji's mentality. As he comes in for a blade. Is he able to get any kills here? We are going to kite backwards. They are moving the objective here. Tracer and Genji are onto us. Oh, this is going to be a close one. Great little stalling from the Mercy. Genji trapped again. It's not going to get the kill, though. Does have a Harmony Orb on him. Our Genji saying it's a group for the last fight, and I agree, but I still need to push out and get some traps just on this front line. I mean, maybe that's a bit too far forward if we get killed here. That's going to be a bit of a problem. Doomfist still there. Very, very low, though. Winston onto us. Let's try and get aggressive. Can we get traps over onto the bot? Slapnull jumps as well. More traps. We do get taken down. The Tracer's killed by the trap. Mercy's still floating around. We are getting the kills. Just do not C9 the objective. Zenyatta with Transcendence going to buy some time, but I don't think the spawns are coming in. 3 of their players are still dead. It's a Winston and a Zenyatta. We've got much closer spawns, which is the advantage of having the lead. The Zenyatta's taken down. Winston can't survive forever. Does get killed. 112 enemies trapped. 37,400 damage. I mean, it's the most damage on our team. I think second highest in the game. Not too bad for a trap build. The Genji's tilted. That's fine. I mean, get over it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. The trap build's very fun. I suggest you try it out. You can swap around the order of the powers, but yeah, give it a try, guys. Anyway, thanks for watching. GG. See you soon.